I want to point out two discrepancies in the Bible. This morning, we hear from the Acts of the Apostles. I'll wait. This morning, we hear from the Acts of the Apostles that the 11 had to elect a new member to replace the death of Judas who had died. And here's where the inconsistencies come in. In the Gospel of Matthew, how did Judas die?
Cast him
He
off.
hanged himself. Yes. But what does it say in the book of Acts? In those few verses that are left out today, it says that he went out and fell over into a field, and his bowels burst open, and he died. So, got a little inconsistency there. So, when everybody tells you that the Bible is exactly true, you know, we've got all these different contradictions. It's, while it may be true, it's not always factual. But we do have facts from the very beginning of the early church, and they are recorded in this book of Acts. 9 days after Jesus had ascended into heaven, the day before Pentecost, all 11 were gathered in the room with about 120 more people. And these people were the followers of Jesus. It included Mary, his mother, his brothers, his cousins, and others who have come to know Jesus throughout his ministry. And now, because the church needed to keep the institution going the way it had always been going, all 9 days, they needed to replace Judas. And so, they put up a list of requirements. Who had been with Jesus from the time he was baptized until 9 days ago when he was ascended into heaven? And of the 120 people there, excluding women and his brothers, isn't it interesting that they didn't make it like a kingdom where the next in line to the throne would be chosen? No, they decided to throw it open for an election, but with some certain qualifications. And the qualifications were that of the 120 people who were not women, who were not brothers, who were not his mother, anybody who had been with Jesus from the time of his baptism until his ascension was eligible to be elected to become the next apostle, the first real bishop of the church. And so 2 people were found. One guy with 3 names: Justus, Barsabbas, and somebody else, I can't remember, but we call him Justus. And then another guy named Matthias. What's unique about these 2 individuals is that you never hear their names again. This is the one and only time that you hear about St. Matthias. His name was listed as the one who replaced Judas, and we've got a church named after him right down the street, and it didn't do a damn thing that we know of. And then there was Justus, who was just as gifted and talented as Matthias. And his name is listed 2 or 3 times if you want to count it. So the one who lost came out with more mentions than St. Matthias. And as I said, this was the day before Pentecost. And here they are changing their makeup and wishing to become 12 again, because Jesus had told them that they would sit on the 12 thrones of Israel. And so they needed a 12th. And so they formed an institution, formed some rules, and decided who was going to be the next bishop, or first bishop and next apostle. And so they cast lots, and Matthias won. Maybe. He may have lost since he didn't do anything. But, you know, we still do that today in the church. Let's see who's the most qualified to serve on the vestry. Who looks like us? Who's been with us the longest? Who knows the Book of Common Prayer? Who is like us? The uptight, white, Anglo-Saxon Protestant community that we are. Who fits into our mold? And so there's a nominating committee. And we go around and we find people who are like us and say, we'd like you to be on the vestry. And 9 times out of 10, those who are just like us say, oh my God, no, I don't want anything to do with that. Because, you know, Mary Dabrowski's coming off. Mary, will you come up here? And please come up here. Mary's coming off the vestry, and Bill Barton is at 8 o'clock, and Brett's coming off, but he's not here today. So instead of doing a calling of the vestry, hold out your tickets and pick 3 numbers. 3 numbers. And in number 501. 501, please stand. 501. She's already on it.
This isn't my ticket. I lost mine, and this is Sue's ticket.
Sue's ticket. Give it to Sue. Sue, stand up. Pick another one. Number 490. Who's got 490? One more. 495. All right, your new vestry has been elected. Our meetings start on the second Thursday of every month, and I expect you there. Congratulations. How do you think that would work out? Did you feel called at any moment in this process to be on the vestry? Had we asked for the Holy Spirit to inspire us in this election? No. You know, the disciples were 24 hours away from receiving the Holy Spirit. And they could not wait to get the administration of the church set up. And the one they chose did absolutely nothing. That we know about. The other 11 all went off and had great ministries and ended up getting themselves killed. We don't know about Matthias. Maybe he just saved his skin. But they were so much in a hurry to fill an empty seat on the vestry that they made up some guidelines and they cast lots for these 2 people and said, God must be in this roll of the dice. But they did not ask for the invocation or the coming of the Holy Spirit. How often in church ministry do we vote without leaving room for the Holy Spirit to guide us? Too often, in too many churches, if there's 3 vacancies on the vestry, you've got to have at least 6 people so you can have an election. And it turns out to be a popularity contest. Rarely have I seen it turn out to be a sign from God.